Ford Edge, Explorer, and the Build Ford Tough F-150. Amazing deals on amazing vehicles. Save big on Ford, America's best-selling brand. During the Ford year-end event, get $1,000 Black Friday bonus cash on top of all other great offers. Or check out special year-end lease deals across the entire Ford lineup. See your local Ford dealer today. Not available on Mustang, Shelby, GT350, F-150 Raptor, Focus RS, Ford GT. Taking retail delivery from dealer stock by 11/30/2016. Most awarded claim based on the cumulative total of recognized corporate, national, and regional awards for the 2015 model year using Ford methodology. Sales claim based on the 2015 calendar year sales.
In parts of the South where wildfires are raging, breathing can be hazardous to your health.
Code red air quality alerts are posted across East Tennessee and much of North and South Carolina. Greenville, South Carolina allergy doctor Emmanuel Sarriento says the unhealthy air is especially bad for
older people with lung disease and heart diseases, COPD, emphysema, asthma, and the young children.
Some schools in East Tennessee have canceled classes because of the smoky conditions, while others in the Southeast are limiting outdoor recess time. Jim Crisula, CBS News, Greensboro, North Carolina.
Free beer for life. It's a perk employees of Canada's Labatt Brewing Company have enjoyed for decades, but the bottomless keg is going the way of the 5-cent cigar. Labatt, now owned by Anheuser-Busch InBev, is cutting off retirees. Canada's other big brewery, Molson Coors, ended routine free beer for retirees a few years ago, but they can still get it for special occasions. Frank Settapani, CBS News.
Holiday shopping can be a real hassle. As if dealing with the mall wasn't challenging enough, it's almost impossible to find something people both want and need. I'm David McNeil from WeatherTech, and I have the perfect gift idea this holiday season: WeatherTech floor liners. WeatherTech floor liners are laser measured to perfectly fit and protect the vehicle's carpeting from spills as well as dirt, snow, slush, and salt. And the best part is, WeatherTech floor liners slide right into the footwell of the vehicle. No assembly required. WeatherTech car mats and floor liners are made in America, right here in Bolingbrook, Illinois, so you know you're always getting the highest quality. This year, give the gift of protection with WeatherTech car mats and floor liners, and you won't even have to go to the mall. Have WeatherTech protection delivered right to your door at WeatherTech.com. Call 1-800-CAR-MATS or visit our factory store off I-55 in Bolingbrook on Remington Boulevard. Happy holidays!
Hey guys, watch my new bike trick. Whoa!
Accidents happen. When they do, LaPorte Hospital can help you get on the road to recovery faster. With our 30 minutes or less ER service pledge, we will work to have you initially seen by a medical professional in 30 minutes or less. Less waiting, faster care. The 30 minutes or less ER service pledge at LaPorte Hospital. During a medical emergency, every minute matters. That's why, at LaPorte Hospital, you'll find less waiting where you need it most, in our emergency room. In fact, we will work to have you initially seen by a medical professional in 30 minutes or less. And because we're a full-service hospital, we can provide more care if you need it. Less waiting, faster care. The 30 minutes or less ER service pledge at LaPorte Hospital.
I won't even go there, you two. I won't even go there. Good morning. Welcome to another great edition of Younger Life Live. I'm Rick Federici. Katie and Mary. Woo! I love being here with you two ladies. I love the fact that Nick Cohn, Jackie Bison, and Sanders, we not have one, not two, we have three executive producers. Right. And then you saw Jackie. Hi, how are ya? It's good to see you. Well, that's a beautiful thing here with WIMS. Talking to the South Shore. What did he? Did I just get spanked for something? Okay. Yeah, I know so. Yeah. So I have to tell you this. First off, can I just bring this up? There is a special little surprise in the green room, but we won't say what the surprise is. But I'm really excited because I want something to happen during this next hour. I want something. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say anything else. Yes. The extras
But they're
mama.
super cute.
The extras mama. Hi. Yes.
Who is like mine, okay, so
Absolutely awesome.
And then we have a family friend's little girl with us today, and she's a baby, so it's been a lot of fun.
Oh my gosh,
kind of
she is
getting
so
back
cute.
in that.
She's adorable.
You know,
Absolutely
she's a very happy baby. Yes. She's asleep right now, thankfully. That's what Rick's hoping happens is that she wakes up, and I'm hoping she does. I'm hoping she snoozes right through the hour. She is really a happy girl, full of smiles for being so little. She's not quite 3 months, and
oh my gosh, what a beautiful baby.
I know, and Evelyn is her name, and she's just this little pudgy baby. I just love her. She's a doll, and all of my kids were pudgy kids, so I loved that. You know, well, like just these little butterballs, and that's how she is.
It's so cute to say because you call her like I call my little guys and gals, the new ones in our families, from my nieces and nephews who are, now they feel the little
it's crazy. I have nieces and nephews having babies.
Yes.
And that's crazy. When it is your nieces and nephews, it's that next generation. I have nieces and nephews that have just started having babies, and I think, wait a second. Isn't that possible? How can that be? Wasn't that just right. I mean, and honestly, my youngest is only careful. 5. He just turned 5. Yeah. So it seems so weird to me to think, wait. But that's the way it goes.
You two are the young moms here. See, I'm almost past different things. It's kind of funny. We're adults here on Younger Life Live. Mm-hmm. You can watch us on YouTube, Younger Life, one word, little space and then live. WIMS AM 1420 is our radio station of choice for Girard Media. But I actually have people in my life right now. I just turned 50 literally a week or so ago.
A week. Yeah. Not even quite a week.
I feel young. I feel great. Mm-hmm. But I have a ton of friends in my age group right now and just people I know that are way younger than I that are going through the changes in life.
Yeah.
Some of my female friends, and then I could tell there are men in my life that are guys that like, dude, what is going on with you?
Well, there certainly is a change of life, regardless, male or female, and it is so true. It is strange when you realize that you're moving into a different phase. It really is. Sure. Even just the baby stuff.
Yes.
My youngest just turned 5, and we've always said, oh, if that was God's plan, whatever, and we had another surprise. That would be the way it was.
Sure.
But it's funny. As my kids get bigger, and we occasionally are babysitting, any little ones. We had one over the weekend, and we have her occasionally, and she's about 1.5 years, and she was in everything. And I said, "Oh, Avery, I love you, but I'm glad my littlest is fine."
Oh my gosh, yes.
You know what I mean? And that was the first time I really felt that certain about. Oh yeah, and especially the baby we have today, Evelyn. She's a doll, and to hold her and love her and. It's a real treat for us.
It's great
but
to
I
get back
can't
though.
imagine.
Get your fix.
Yes, that's it. You get your fix and they go home, and it's nice. It's such a strange feeling when you do really feel that you're moving into a different spot like that. So
I just want to let you know I've got you covered during the show because I've strategically, since we have 3 executive producers and Jackie, Nick, and Sanders. Sanders for texted me, and he's literally has the baby directly in front of me.
Aw.
So I could see through the
Perfect.
glass.
There you go.
That if
Thank
we
you,
needed
yes.
anything- listen, I'm all about our babies first.
But, you know, and Sanders is so cute. He said, "It's been so long since I've seen like a baby."
Right.
And I said,
Seriously.
"I know, you know, and you know, you
I
don't
love
forget,
babies.
but it's so,
Yeah.
you know, you hold them again. You haven't held one that tiny in a long time
Makes
and
me
stuff. So
happy.
it's fun. It does bring us joy.
Just bring joy.
But
Absolutely,
you know,
yes.
the gathering of family, like we are much doing today, I feel like, with all of us.
We are a
together.
big, happy, Younger Life Live family.
We
Through the
are.
end of December.
But you know, the point is that is something we're actually kind of talking about today is family
I
and
agree.
the holidays. You know, the holiday season brings so many different family parties and.
Yep.
You know, increased alcohol consumption.
She looked at me.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying it's true. Like I was reading about
It is
things
true.
because there is
Right.
kind of a startling, you know, piece of information that I've always wondered is myth or truth, and it is about increased heart attacks and strokes over the holidays. So we really thought it was important today with Katie to discuss kind of our risk factors and for strokes and heart attacks, and is there a link between increased strokes, heart attacks, and the holiday season, and why, and what we can maybe do to kind of keep ourselves on alert and pay attention to our loved ones too. So, and know, you know, kind of keep our eye open for that. And, you know, you always hear people say, "Oh, that scared me so bad. I once had a heart attack." Or, "Oh, I was so stressed out.
Or
I
you're
thought I was
getting
going to
a
have
heart
a,
attack."
thought I was going to have a
Yeah.
heart attack."
Yep.
And, you know, I do think it is worth discussing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is stress a factor we have to really be aware of, and increased stress, you know, especially around the holidays, trying to get everything done, fit everything in. Katie was just sharing she's off from work Friday, but she'll work harder on Friday than she has all
Why?
week.
Oh, absolutely.
Why?
Why
Tell
am I
us,
off
Katie.
work on Friday? So at my son and daughter's school, my son's class, he's in kindergarten. They have his teacher does this, it's so awesome. But they do a Thanksgiving feast. And so each student in the class is required to bring something, but I was the parent that was asked to come in and assist to get everything prepped for that day.
So she will make, serve.
So I will, yeah, so I'll be, you know, reheating the stuff that the parents brought in, or I believe I'll be doing a pumpkin pie probably while I'm there, because I did that the last time too. And then I'm serving all the kids. There's 25 kids in his class, so serve the kids their feast, and then just be there to enjoy and have
Are
a
you
good
by
time
yourself?
with them. It'll just be me. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
She'll work a lot harder, and you and I, we
Yes.
all know, having children.
Oh, absolutely.
That you're going to get 25 of them
Right.
saying, "I don't like that. No, I
Yeah.
don't want that
Right.
one.
Oh, yes.
Oh, can I have more of that one?
Yeah.
Can I not? I don't want to eat this.
I
You know
should
what I
Honey,
mean?
put a
Right.
napkin on your lap.
Yeah.
Honey, put a napkin on your lap.
Yeah. Don't spill your
Close
juice.
your mouth.
Right.
Yeah.
Thankfully,
Close your mouth.
Your mouth
it's
closed.
they get a uniform pass day that day, so it's pajama day.
Oh,
that's
that's
nice.
so
That's
cool.
so much more fun.
I mean, they have to give a donation to be able to wear it, but the donation goes towards the Thanksgiving baskets that the 8th grade kids.
Do you know,
do for
I'm
Michigan State.
certain
Wonderful.
that the parents are grateful for that,
Oh,
because it
yes.
isn't just fun for the kids to wear pajamas. It really means
Yes.
because you're going to spill on you,
Yes.
Right?
and it won't
Yes.
ruin a uniform.
Exactly.
It's true.
Yes.
And I think that's perfect. And it's brilliant of the schools when they come up with these different ways to have kids bring in something if they're able to, whether it's a monetary donation, or like our school right now is doing a food drive.
Yep.
And so if
Oh,
the kids bring in, today specifically,
Cans,
is
yeah.
they
Yes.
bring in
Yep.
any non-perishable item, they can wear a hat.
I like.
just
Oh,
these little
that's
different
awesome.
things. And I
Yeah.
think it's fantastic. It's
Shows
a
them how to
great
make a
way.
difference.
Give back thing.
It
Yeah,
is.
Exactly.
It's a great way
Yep.
to teach them that, you know, you get something fun out of it, but you understand what you're doing.
Can I throw this out there?
Yeah.
I would love for you two ladies to do a follow-up, since you're the executive producer and a booking guests and stuff. Katie, this would be cool. You do a follow-up to all the kids that are wearing pajamas, all the children, and you go to their parents. Now, did you change those PJs when they got home?
There you go.
Yeah.
Or
You
did
slide them
you-
right into bed with food on them.
Or get them up in the morning and
Just
go,
pull
you're
them out.
fine.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah.
Let's go to school
Brush your
right
teeth
now.
and you're
Yeah.
good.
But
Band down your
Mom,
hair.
Don't worry, Billy, get to bed.
It's funny.
I'm covered in mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Don't worry
matter.
about it.
Yeah,
It matches
it's
your
cute.
hair.
I do love the Thanksgiving feast idea.
Yes.
Our school
Yeah.
does the same, and it is It's really neat. The kids love it.
Yes.
My son just moved to first grade this year,
Oh,
and he's
okay.
so bummed because first grade, it's kindergarten that does it.
Yeah.
Sure,
as far
sure.
as the full feast.
Right.
You know.
Yes.
Right.
And so he said, do we get to do that again? And I said, no, I don't think so. At least I
Sorry,
did
honey.
previously,
Right.
unless that's a new change. It was always just kindergarten, and it is
Yeah,
fun.
it
So
is.
you will work
Good
really
time.
hard on Friday,
Yes.
Katie.
Yeah.
knowing
And I
you and
will
your-
love it though.
Knowing
Yeah.
you and
Love
Jeremy, you'll say, honey, don't worry. We'll have the whole classroom over for
Oh.
that Thanksgiving feast. That's how you guys are. You're crazy. I don't
We have
worry
a
about
house
it.
full of
Invite them
lot,
all
but
over.
Right?
it's all right. We
Big
don't
parties.
mind that. Yeah.
Your house is always full of kids. I
It
mean,
is
Yeah.
always full of kids, and it's fun. I love it. You know, it's chaotic and
Every
but
day.
but fun.
Every
And
day.
so I think I would probably be safe from this heart attack statistic only because I feel like my life's a little bit of chaos every day. I prep all
You
year.
prep all year long for that.
I prep all year.
Forget the stress of the holidays.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
I mean, that's one of the big things is that stress during the holiday season.
Yeah.
So preparing yourself for it or finding people to work with you on decreasing that stress. That's really important.
Absolutely.
And,
Would you mind if we start with what are some of the most common? I realize it's an extremely wide, broad topic, honestly, when we're talking about heart attacks, and it's so individualized. It's difficult, just like with our diabetes discussions.
Absolutely agree.
Yes.
It's difficult because it's so individualized, but most common. Can you give us the risk factors for heart attacks and strokes?
Sure.
Most common
Yeah.
ones.
So your risk factors for heart attack and stroke are very similar, to be completely
Oh,
honest.
okay.
So, but we're looking at age now. In particular, for heart attack, men over the age of 45 and women over the age of 55, you're at a little bit of a higher risk for heart attack in particular.
Okay.
But then you look at in terms of stroke, gender plays a little bit more of a role there. So
Really?
yeah. So men at a younger age are more susceptible to having stroke.
What age
But
would that
then,
be, roughly, Katie?
You know, that I'm not 100% positive. The 40s-ish,
Ish.
you know.
Yeah, sure,
but then the women, though, the research has shown that they have a higher risk of dying from stroke. So that's very interesting in and of itself, too. So, but then when you look at the other symptoms like high blood pressure, diabetes, obesity, let's see, what else would there be? Physical inactivity, those sorts of things can all play a role on both heart attack and
That's
stroke.
gotta
And then,
be-
like we talked about last time, the smoking, or not, it was 2 times ago
Sure,
when we talked
sure.
about smoking.
Yeah.
Smoking plays a big role on
Yeah.
both of those.
That's
And
like
so-
America.
I
You
was-
hate to say that, but that's all these
Right.
things.
No, it
Yeah.
was true. I was
sure.
reading up a little bit just about the topic for our discussion, and I was surprised by all of the, smoking's things you automatically think of. So smoking, hypertension, as far as like normal risk factors. But, something I didn't think about was the increased alcohol consumption around the holiday season.
Yeah.
People, I normally am not a drinker. So, I may have a glass of wine every now and then, but you're talking about every now and then versus
Yeah.
at parties.
Well, you're binge drinking.
Well, that's it. It really is in a sense. I hate to say that because it sounds
Works so
terrible,
well.
but it's true in a sense.
Right.
And so that's why I was curious, especially for someone that maybe never does that. It is a shock to the system.
But when you say
Sure.
binge, let's clarify this because I want to help the folks out there because there are some of us that I'm the first person to say if I'm going to a family event and or an outing and I'm with family and friends and there's a designated driver, I as soon as I touch something to my lips, I'm not driving. In other
Sure.
words,
Oh,
it
yeah,
doesn't matter
right.
if it's one, but if
Right.
you have a couple margaritas a month,
Right.
or whatever, it's not. But when you say binge, you're talking
You're
doing it to get
yes.
blitzed.
Yeah, you get
Correct?
there, you are,
Yeah.
from the time you walk in the door of that party till the time that you leave, you've got a drink in your hand and it's been gone and gone and gone and gone.
Yeah,
Refilled a million
No,
times.
that's not
my
That's
world.
your
Mine
binge
either.
drinking. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, having a couple drinks here and there.
Yeah.
That's not gonna harm.
It's
that
still
shouldn't
it still
harm
can
you.
affect.
Yes,
I mean,
it
it's still
can affect.
it still is
Yes.
different for someone maybe that
Correct.
never does that.
Correct.
And I was curious. Do you know what theories have they discussed for? First of all, do you know statistically speaking, is this myth, fact or fiction kind of thing
So-
about increased?
Yeah. So it's fact. They say that it's fact that during the holiday season there is an increased risk for heart attack, and with that, one of the things is that it's very interesting. December 25th. They're showing like on record that that's the highest day for heart attacks. And then the 26th would be the second highest. And January 1st is
Of
the
course.
third highest.
Oh,
How
yeah.
crazy. I mean, really,
Yeah.
like how crazy is that? But the theory behind that is in particular that the people wait in order to to go to the hospital or to say, I'm not feeling well, I'm not feeling right, because they don't want to disrupt the holidays. So that's the theory behind it.
Okay.
Is that it's truly I don't want to disrupt anything. I don't want to disturb the peace, during the holiday season, although is holiday ever peaceful?
Yeah.
There's
always something, right? Oh my gosh,
Keep
yes.
it out of
Keep
the
it out
mix.
of it. Yeah. Let's
You
just
want-
have a good holiday.
Yeah.
Just
smile.
You are going to smile and like this whether you want to or not.
Yeah. Gosh, we hear that all the time. No.
Well,
but,
it's interesting you say it because a couple of Christmases ago, on Eve, I actually had to pass some stones and I never felt that wicked. And it's funny you bring that up because I said to my wife, I am not going to screw this holiday up because we love our holidays because we spend Eve with her side and day with my side. Always.
Sure.
It's always been that way.
Yep.
And they're huge celebrations.
Yeah.
And by the way, we were having it. So it was like one of those things where I was like, okay.
Oh, man.
But I will tell you, I went and thanked the Lord that it all transpired because it was early morning. By the time we got to afternoon, I was set, although not feeling well, but wow.
Yeah.
So I'm with you on that from a male perspective.
That is the thing. That's kind of the
That's
theory
that.
behind it in whole. Is that people just say, I'm not going until after the holidays are over. And then by the time you do that, it could potentially be too late. And so, so that's why.
That was
And I
crazy.
think we do wear ourselves down around the holiday time because we're
Yeah.
all, we're tired. We're trying to fit everything in. There's lots of school programs, lots of kid events going on. You're trying to fit everything in, and not to mention the social side where you're trying to see friends maybe that come in from out of state only every now and then, or something.
Work-related stuff. Just so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Work.
Yeah, it's
and so
always
we
busy.
wear ourselves down. There have been a couple Christmases over the years where we've had a sick child, or one year my husband and I both had the flu.
Oh.
And we
that's not good.
still got together because it was my sister's family, my parents, and we still did that side because we all see each other so much that we're pretty sure we would have shared the germs regardless.
No matter what.
Do you know
Yeah,
what? Can I tell you, this
exactly.
was the
Yeah.
Christmas, by the way, that Sis had a cardboard table on the back side of the house. It said, you two are sitting
You
back
can
over
sit
there.
back there. Yeah, don't
That's
come near
perfect.
us.
Sis.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Our family's always Thanksgiving. We get this horrendous Thanksgiving bug, we call it. And I think last year, knock on wood, was the first year in like 3-4 years that we actually made it to Thanksgiving at both of our locations.
How nice.
That's hard.
So we're just hoping that, this year. So my sister has this little joke with me that she'll say, are you coming to some random Thursday to eat dinner?
Yeah.
Or, so she doesn't
That's
ever
so
say
cute.
Thanksgiving so that it doesn't jinx me or anything.
On the day where everybody's happy.
Right,
and
exactly.
Together.
Yes, and together,
Yeah,
and there's
yeah.
no politics or religion being discussed.
I'm with you.
Just
Can
enjoy
I ask
it.
a question? So, as we talk about stroke and heart attack, a number of us that have been through it, that has affected our families, are familiar with it. But, can we explain? And, none of us in the room are doctors, but I mean, just kind of the signs are pretty obvious.
Yeah.
And it's crazy, but the difference between a stroke and a heart attack and stuff like that, if you guys wouldn't mind.
Yeah. So, well, first and foremost, when we're talking about heart attacks, we want to think about the signs and the symptoms of a heart attack, okay, which do differ from the signs and the symptoms of a stroke. So, you always see in the movies somebody grabs their chest and they fall to the ground and 911 is called and they've had a heart attack. That might not be the case. I mean, yes, a lot of times you will feel like a tightness in the chest or a pounding or like somebody's kind of squeezing really tight in your chest muscle. That definitely is a sign. But there's other signs that come along with it too. So you might start sweating, like getting cold sweats, feeling a little bit tingly in one of your arms. Those would be another sign for heart attack, shortness of breath, those sorts of things. But when you're talking about a stroke, which is affecting the portion of your brain here, everything is sudden. Very sudden. So sudden numbness in your face, in your arm, in your leg, on one side in particular.
Wow.
Sudden slurring of speech, sudden inability to comprehend something. Those are things and so if you think of fast, the drooping face, so face drooping, arm tingling, your Your S would be slurring your speech, and then your T would be time to call 911. So you think of those things. Like that's kind of a good acronym to think about. And so if you're with somebody and you're starting to notice these, like, why are they slurring their speech? Ask, are you all right? Look for other signs. Is your face drooping? Is there any numbness? And immediately call. I mean, if they're slurring their speech because they've been drinking too much, that's one thing. But if they're slurring their speech and nothing has changed, are they stumbling, or all those sorts of things. And so it is scary, but your heart is your strongest muscle in your body. And so if you already have issues with high cholesterol and high blood pressure, as we spoke about, you're at a higher risk for that. And so if you have clogs in your arteries and that sort of thing, those are things that start to get you on the path for developing heart disease and the potential for developing a heart attack. And so that in and of itself, you've really got to be paying attention to and ensuring that you are taking care of yourself. So, and of course, we can do things to improve our chances, decrease our chances of not having it. And that really all stems from having a healthier lifestyle.
That's what I was going to say. Can we kind of talk about that? It's preventative, isn't it?
Preventative.
It's what we do in advance.
Yeah. Now let's back up a little bit. So family history does play a role too.
Certainly.
Okay. Certainly. So of course we know that there are certain things in family history that you may unfortunately not be able to change. However, if you were to make lifestyle changes, you're decreasing your risk. And first thing that comes to mind is anyone who's a smoker, if you quit smoking, your risk is going to drastically start to decrease over the years of being a non. So you're a non-smoker, now you've moved into non-smoking, we're going to be better off down the road. In terms of, we talked about obesity being a risk factor. If we work on developing good, solid physical activity and solid, healthy nutrition, eating your whole foods, making sure that you're getting plenty of whole grains and fiber in your diet, lots of fruits and veggies and lean cuts of meat, those sorts of things, that's all good for you as well. And so, wanting to make sure that you are really focusing in on just healthy behaviors overall in and of themselves. And so
I wanted to ask you if we could talk about stress management, since it is such a hectic time of year. It's a wonderful time of year, but it can be very hectic. And, what about the people that have possibly, a slight depression? Some people, you've lost people, and the holidays can be difficult.
This is a huge time of the year for people that are
It really is. And so, how
awful.
can they help manage that depression?
Right.
See your doctor.
How can
they? But as far as general stress management, can you give us some tips on that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the biggest thing would be that you find a network of friends or family members who can support you. Look for those people that kind of understand what you're going through. Do you have to tell them all the details of what's going on? Absolutely not. No,
you don't.
But sharing a little bit about, hey, I'm having a rough time. Could you help me out here? I'm stressing because I'm in charge of buying all of the food for Thanksgiving and I don't know how I'm going to get it done. Enlist those family members or those friends who are already making grocery store runs and say, could you pick something up for me? Instead of freaking out. And, I'll be the first person to say, when I host an event at my house, and my husband is probably listening right now and is probably nodding his head like, oh my gosh, she's horrible. I kind of start to freak out, not because I can't handle it or because but you want everything to be so perfect.
You do.
And I think we need to stop focusing on that. To decrease your stress in those holiday times is really to say that, I can handle this, but I am going to reach out and I am going to ask somebody for assistance. And I think that is really important. But also just taking a break. Does everything have to happen on one day? Absolutely not. You don't have to do all the Christmas shopping or all the grocery shopping or all the decorating all on one day. Separate those things out. Make sure that you're, and do it as a family. I think that's the other thing too. Yeah, sometimes people are like, well, if I have kids, and then it gets annoying to have them there with me. I get that.
We all get that.
8, 5, 3, and 1. Those are my kids.
Yes.
But they love to be involved.
Yeah.
And, to be able to see them light up can decrease your stress as well. And then finding things to do that would relax you. Sit down, take a deep breath, take a break.
I love that you pointed out the perfect perception. Get real. I mean, we all want that, but that's just not realistic.
Correct.
And we have to allow ourselves the wiggle room to say it's okay. Yeah, it's the way it goes. Yes. It really is the way it is. So I love that. I think that's perfect. There are so many things around it that I
You know what? Let's take a quick time out. We'll come back. We'll
Sure.
gather our thoughts. Younger Life Live, of course. Mary Anthony, Rick Federici, Katie Sarver here. Thank you, LaPorte Hospital, for the great sponsorship. We'll come back with this, and we'll kind of dabble for the next 30 minutes into some other stuff. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
Hey guys, watch my new bike trick. Whoa!
Accidents happen. When they do, LaPorte Hospital can help you get on the road to recovery faster. With our 30 minutes or less ER service pledge, we will work to have you initially seen by a medical professional in 30 minutes or less. Less waiting, faster care. The 30 minutes or less ER service pledge at LaPorte Hospital. During a medical emergency, every minute matters. That's why, at LaPorte Hospital, you'll find less waiting where you need it most, in our emergency room. In fact, we will work to have you initially seen by a medical professional in 30 minutes or less. And because we're a full-service hospital, we can provide more care if you need it. Less waiting, faster care. The 30 minutes or less ER service pledge at LaPorte Hospital.
Hi, this is Rick Federici.
And this is Mary Anthony.
And don't forget to join us weekdays here on WIMS for
Younger Life Live.
It's great. It's on the radio. It's in your face. YoungerLife.org. And of course, /live to see it each and every weekday right here on WIMS. And you can stream it
to us live.
Woo!
9 to 10.
All right.
Younger Life Live, weekdays from 9 a.m. until 10 a.m. on AM 1420 WIMS and streaming online at YoungerLife.org.
Hi, this is Rick Federici.
And this is Mary Anthony.
And don't forget to join us weekdays here on WIMS for
Younger Life Live.
It's great. It's on the radio. It's in your face. YoungerLife.org. And of course, /live to see it each and every weekday right here on WIMS. And you can stream it
to us live.
Woo!
9 to 10.
All right.
Younger Life Live, weekdays from 9 a.m. until 10 a.m. on AM 1420 WIMS and streaming online at YoungerLife.org.
All right. It is a beautiful day to be alive here, Younger Life Live
Yes,
Studios. I'm popping with family, friends, as we're into the holiday season, just around the corner from Thanksgiving and, of course, our Christmas, New Year's holidays. And we got to be politically correct here because Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa,
Oh, absolutely.
Festivus, Merry Christmas. Am I missing a few here? I think we're good, right? Did I catch them all?
I think so.
I think you did a good job.
I think you are very good at being politically correct.
Thank you
Bravo.
so much.
It's true. The holiday season in general, period.
Yes, I agree.
There's so much, and even, from Halloween on, it's nonstop. I know just in our own house, there's so many things. Once Halloween gets here, it just doesn't stop between
Yes.
school stuff and
Absolutely.
sports, are up and going. I think they're going all year long, but right now it seems like everybody's involved in something.
Do you still do those 2 or 3 hour choir holiday concerts?
Oh,
at all the different schools. Those are
They've
like, wow.
They've done
I
a
love
good
'em, but
job.
wow.
Oh, they've done a great job of trying to
Sure,
streamline that.
Yes.
At least
Down
at
to
our
2.5.
school, they typically they try to do it. They do a couple grades at a time, so it will be no more than an hour, which is nice because when you have other children,
Right.
it is difficult.
Oh, yeah.
The
Oh,
gyms
yeah.
get hot.
Yep.
You're crammed in there like sardines.
Can I throw this out there just for everybody? Please be nice to your fellow neighbor
Oh,
when it comes to
absolutely.
saving seats. Because
Yeah.
people get brutal.
Oh, yes.
But they do, but then they are even worse if, say, you don't save enough room and you have a whole crowd of people come in, then they're mad they have to scoot
Yep.
over. They'd much rather have that seat saved where there's, your coat sprawled all out if you
Yeah.
need to.
Right?
Excuse me, are you taking these 3 seats? Yes,
Sorry,
I am.
we have 10 people for those 3 seats.
My mother-in-law's 80, yes.
Yes.
She started on the other side of the parking lot an hour ago. She's still walking
That's
in.
another thing. During the holiday time, it's easy to let stress kind of get the better of us and
yes.
forget
Yes.
our manners sometimes.
yes.
And I feel like, especially when you're talking about elderly or someone that just needs an extra hand,
You're absolutely right.
let's not forget our best manners just because
yes.
just because we're a little bit edgy, because it is such a hectic time of year. I had to point out because I love to read some of these medical studies that are in these different things I read, these different reports. But there was a study done on that this is actually fact and not fiction. So as far as increased heart attacks and strokes around the holidays. But in 2004, there was a study done that was published. It was done by the University of California, San Diego, and Tufts University Medical School. They examined 53 million U.S. death certificates. That is a ton, by the way.
Yes.
So this is a very big study, obviously. Small study, it's hard to make a generalization, but this large, you can't. This is pretty obvious. Yeah. Right, this is proof enough. The death certificates were between 1973 and 2001, and they discovered that there was an overall 5% increase of heart-related deaths during the holiday season specifically. Now, 5% doesn't sound enormous until you think of how many people that is.
Oh, yes.
That is huge.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So they looked at individual years. They broke it into years, and it's cardiac deaths around the holiday season, which is another key thing to point out. And this sounds doom and gloom, and I don't like doom and gloom anything, but they do state that around the holiday time, it isn't necessarily more heart attacks. It's more death from heart attacks and stroke, which is strange because people can have them and live, obviously. But we've had some on our own show, but still.
I think that goes back though to the whole I don't want to disrupt anything.
Yes, I think you're right.
Yep. So we put it all
I think
off.
that's why.
Yep.
Which is just crazy.
Yeah.
Katie, I had to ask you, do you know if there's been any research done that maybe has discussed the cold weather as a theory? I wonder, just because it isn't just the holiday time, it's winter.
Oh, sure, yes.
So, I mean,
there's a lot of
crabby
people during the winter.
a lot of crabby people during the winter.
I love the winter for a while.
So do too.
I do too.
But we've had shows on seasonal.
Oh, absolutely. That's a real deal.
Depression.
Yeah.
I work with people like that.
Yeah, and it's definitely a real thing.
Yeah. Yes, and it is. That in and of itself is upsetting and disappointing.
I'll be the first person to tell them too. If you guys need some sunshine, come on into my office.
Right? Exactly. Yeah.
That's it. You're full of it. We love it.
Feel free if you want to lift that baby up because I'll hold the baby for you. No, I'm serious.
I'm feeding her right now.
Oh, are you feeding her?
I
Okay.
am feeding her right now.
And
she's a doll. I mean,
she's a doll. That baby's so beautiful.
She's a doll.
My little buddy out there who's a little cutie pie was such a good little boy.
He was trying to feed her bottle, but he couldn't reach her. He said, Mimi, I need help. I need help.
Head's just poking out.
Mimi, I need help. I said, okay. He said, I tried and I
tried.
He is, thank you. He has very, very good manners.
Comes from your family, you realize that.
He's a sweetheart.
Yeah. But back to your question, Mary. Yes. Yeah. So cold weather can definitely affect our risk of heart attack. And so one of the big things is that when you're outside, okay, so let's see. We live in Indiana. We will probably get snow this winter, right?
I heard the S word not too far off.
We'll see. Who knows?
I'm excited.
But you're out there shoveling. And you're not used to doing that sort of physical activity. That can definitely play a big part on that. Never mind the fact that our blood vessels constrict when we're cold. So, cold in and of itself.
I'm just going to throw this out there. This is how much of a great family show this is, that we have this beautiful baby with the cutest little penguin butt.
Oh, I know. It's
going
adorable.
on right now. Oh my gosh.
And she has ears on her hood.
She is so cute.
She's a doll.
Oh my gosh, she's such a good baby.
I'm so grateful to have a job that this is occasionally the way life goes.
Guess what?
Yes.
Family and God first. We're not throwing that in there, but I'm gonna. Because, no matter what, this is our lives.
Yes,
this is how we are as parents, as grandparents, as little ones. This is what it's all about. And nothing else matters.
Yes.
My biggest accomplishment in life are my 2 daughters. That's it.
Oh, yeah,
and my wonderful wife. And thank the Lord that they all still love me.
Right? How could they not love you?
Of course.
Thank you for saying that.
Absolutely.
But, as we look at the holidays too, and if you guys don't mind, the spin on that, Katie, and I know that you, from the wellness coach standpoint and just from your good positive vibes you give, there are ways to help friends out, because I have friends that during this time of the season, they get very, very depressed. And I know I'm just a sidestep just for a moment, because we're talking about the holidays, because they don't have their mother or their father or brothers or sisters or friends around. And you try to take that step. You try to be happy. You do go to different events, and some take it a whole other different direction. But outside of some of the great points you gave there, is there anything we can offer them that maybe will help them year by year? It's going to be a little less stressful.
Sure,
for lack of a better
absolutely.
word?
I think one of the biggest things is utilizing empathy versus
Sure.
versus sympathy. So, do you ever find yourself there's a video out there that we show in some of our training sessions when we have new hires that come in that displays, and I unfortunately I don't remember who the author of this video is or whatever, but you find yourself saying, well, at least. So, my mother passed away when I was 55 or whatever. Well, at least she lived that long.
Yes.
At least. And it doesn't necessarily help someone to say that. But if you can say, I'm really sorry that you struggled with that. What can I do to help you? Like, that's a big thing there,
absolutely.
Taking that and listen to yourself. Do I say that a lot? Like, at least you have X, Y, and Z. At least you have a job. At least you have a car. At least, no, because putting yourself in that person's shoes in a sense and saying that, I want to help you. What can I do? Or just saying, hey, you know what? We're going to go Christmas caroling or whatever. Would you like to come with us? Come and join my family for a day. Hey, you want to come out with my mom and I for lunch or for dinner or whatever? Yeah. I know that your mom's not around anymore, or your dad or your sister or whatever.
A new tradition.
Start a new tradition with that
agree.
person. And I think
Great
that
advice.
it's so important to sit back and say, what would I want someone to do for me if I were in that situation?
Excellent point there, Katie.
And that, although, do you want to have to think of yourself in that situation? Absolutely not. None of us ever want to have to think of that. But so often do we completely forget about the fact that all of these people are suffering from something, and be kind always. That's the big thing. Like, be kind always, because you don't know what that person is going through. And so, just really opening up and being positive about the fact that, other people have stuff going on.
Well, and the volunteerism thing that we've discussed many, many times. It feels good to help someone else.
Yes.
So if you do know someone that's having a hard time, maybe say, hey, as long as you're okay with it, I'm going to sign us up for an hour of the bell ringing.
Yeah.
Just something.
Something, yes.
Because
it
makes
brings out
them,
that spirit, kind
that's
of.
it. And, it's still holiday stuff, but then they might feel a little more inclined to do it. Yes. Something I did want to go back to, I just feel like it's super important to point out. When we were discussing the cold weather, we know it's hard on the arteries anyways.
Yes.
Everything constricts. My theory was wondering if the cold weather was a theory just due to the fact that people overexert. They want to shovel snow and then it's just super hard on them. What if you're a person that's never had any, real health concerns? But what should you be watching for in yourself to say, I'm pushing it too hard? You could be people do have heart attacks young, and people do have strokes young.
Right.
So just because you're, 30 doesn't mean you're
correct.
You
Exempt
can go
that,
at
right.
that's it. You're still at risk.
Still at risk.
And so especially if you're
Mm-hmm.
shoveling snow and stuff, that's extremely hard on the body.
Right.
And in that kind of cold weather.
Right.
What are things we should watch for in ourselves that say, okay, it's time to take a break, like you were saying.
Yeah. Well, first
earlier.
and foremost, if you're going to be doing that, you want to make sure that you're bundling up. I think there is a misconception of, I'm going to get warm shoveling, so I don't want to bundle up. No, you need to make sure that you're well bundled. If you're starting to get really overheated, if you're starting to breathe very heavily, your cheeks are starting to get super red and you can feel like a burn almost.
And you're sweating.
You're
kinda?
sweating.
Yeah.
It's time to take a break. If you're not someone who has exercised in a strenuous physical activity level on a regular basis, that in and of itself is an important point to note to yourself and say, okay, I'm going to go out for 15 minutes and then I'm going to take a break for 15 minutes and then I'm going to go back and do some more for 15. So really just listening to your body. Are my muscles starting to get tight? Am I starting to feel a little different than I do when I do exercise, if you are an exerciser? Of course, yes, you're working completely different muscles when you're shoveling than you are if you're running on a treadmill or lifting weights or whatever. But just knowing how your body reacts to physical activity is probably one of the most important things.
What about fluids? Like keeping yourself hydrated?
You have got to make sure that you keep yourself hydrated, especially during the winter time. It's dry out.
Yeah.
You want to make sure that you're constantly hydrating. Last time or the time before, we talked about making sure you get at least 8 ounce glasses of water a day.
That's a lot of water.
It is a lot of water, but
I had that conversation last night with my daughter Carly, who's like, Dad, you're supposed to have at least 8 glasses of water. I'm like, wow, I drink a full giant glass in the morning as soon as I wake up, and I throughout the day, and even here I'll have a glass or so.
Sure.
But man, it's tough.
Yeah.
Well, I find
is,
some days
it
it's
is.
very easy, and then other days I think it's dinner and I've had one glass all
Right,
day long.
that's me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I think it's a habit that I'm trying to get myself into as far as
Sure.
getting up and having that glass and saying, "Oh, I'm going wherever. Take a glass with me,
Yep.
nor a water bottle with me,"
water.
and you know what I mean. Just so I kind of keep tabs on it because it does. The day can get away from you, and you don't
Absolutely.
even realize that you've
Right.
not done what you were trying to do. Something as simple as staying well hydrated.
Yes,
You know.
and it is. It's very important because that's going to keep us healthy. Another thing is that there's been research that shows that if you would get a flu shot, that can sometimes help you too, because when our bodies experience illness, we experience fever, we experience infection, that can play a harder role on your heart too, because it's pumping to try and
Good point.
keep yourself healthier. So that has to be a personal decision between you and your physician.
Right.
There are obviously individuals out there that cannot receive a flu shot due to health reasons and whatnot, but you need to talk with your doctor about that. Like, is the flu shot the right thing for me? Same thing with individuals that would be our older aging adults. Is the pneumonia shot vaccination right for me? Speak with your physician on that. Those are important.
Katie Sarver, of course, Mary Anthony, Rick Federici, and Cutie Pie here in studio. Younger Life will be back. We're going to take a quick time out. We're going to come back and wrap up the show. Don't you go away here with AM 1420 WYMS and Younger Life. Welcome to Younger Life Live.
It's a great way to stay young, to really keep the focus in your mind really good.
We wanted to encourage folks to be active and enjoy the community.
There's some days where I can live a pretty much normal life.
Instead of focusing on what it is you're giving up, focus on what it is you're getting.
Join Rick Federici and Mary Anthony for Younger Life Live, weekdays from 9 a.m. until 10 a.m. on AM 1420 WYMS and streaming online at YoungerLife.org.
It's one thing to be aware of breast cancer. It's another to do something about it. Here's to the heroes who make pink so much more than a color. Act, donate, get involved at Komen.org/morethanpink.
During a medical emergency, every minute matters. That's why at LaPorte Hospital, you'll find less waiting where you need it most, in our emergency room. In fact, we will work to have you initially seen by a medical professional in 30 minutes or less. And because we're a full-service hospital, we can provide more care if you need it. Less waiting, faster care. The 30 minutes or less ER service pledge at LaPorte Hospital.
Hey guys, watch my new bike trick. Whoa!
Accidents happen. When they do, LaPorte Hospital can help you get on the road to recovery faster. With our 30 minutes or less ER service pledge, we will work to have you initially seen by a medical professional in 30 minutes or less. Less waiting, faster care. The 30 minutes or less ER service pledge at LaPorte Hospital.
All right, we are back with Younger Life Live. Good morning as we come to a wrap on this great show. Katie Sarver is our special in studio. She's a family member, though. We don't call her a guest here.
She is a family member.
I love her to pieces. I'm Rick Federici.
I'm Mary Anthony.
And you have a little baby with
I
you
have
today.
baby Evelyn today that I'm watching, and she is a doll and decided she'd had enough sleeping in her chair. She is very quiet.
I have the utmost
She's
respect
a tiny
for
baby.
moms and dads and grandparents and stuff. But I'm telling you, I love you ladies to pieces because I see you as young moms, and these are the kind of cool things that I like to get choked up about. You're not only working the on the air thing, behind the scenes, you got a baby, you're doing stuff, you're like doing 50 things at once, and you're still just rocking it, young Mary Anthony. Katie's
I
over
love
there, it's
it.
like there's all this stuff going on. It's like, you know
Well,
what?
for
This is
Katie,
what it's
she's
all
like, I
about.
feel at home. You know, she has she has a house full of kids too, and that's it.
Four
It's
babies.
nice.
Yep. Yeah.
Wow.
So this is not, it's
This is
whatever.
normal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You just do what you got to do. It's fabulous.
I know, it's
Absolutely
nice.
fabulous.
This is the only time I think, oh, I wish I had saved that Moby. You know those Mobies.
Right?
that you
Oh,
wrap
I
around-
could have brought
I
mine
did that with my other
today.
kids, but I got rid of it after
Yes. Oh,
number
sure.
5. But
Yeah.
that's it.
Get
Well,
rid
I
of all
didn't
the
think
stuff
about babysitting
right?
occasionally.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? You're babysitting more now.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
It's fun. It's fun.
Those
So-
are fabulous, though. Yes.
So, I mean, overall, we've been discussing heart attacks, strokes, and, you know, the tie to the holiday season.
Yes.
It really, it's obviously a fact, not fiction, not myth. There are things, we should do. Pay attention to your bodies. Talk to your
Absolutely.
doctors.
Yep.
Especially if you think, if you've noticed coming into the holiday season, when we had Sue Klee back on, who we just love. She actually
amazing,
died.
yeah.
I mean, she had
Sure.
sudden cardiac
Yes.
death.
Crazy
and
story. Yep.
Revived at LaPorte Hospital, and she's done amazing, and she's the biggest advocate for heart health.
Absolutely, she is,
And
yeah.
she pointed out she did not feel like anything had been wrong. But in hindsight, and we've had numerous guests that have said this too, they've noticed they're more tired, they're more run down, and can't get through the day like they typically would. But because it is gradual, you don't want to call the doctor over every little thing. Goodness knows most of us don't want to sit in our doctor's office all the time. But coming into the holiday season, if you're noticing those things, I think one of the biggest things you could do to protect yourself is maybe have a conversation with your doctor and say, hey, this has been going on. I probably am just overtired from more work stress or more running or whatever the case may be. But, let them know that maybe something is a little different so they can, check your blood pressure again, maybe tell you some things to do to manage that stress. I think your tips on managing stress are so perfect. I think it is such a good time as, Black Friday is right around the corner. So
Oh, yes.
I think it's just important. I think that people need to listen to their
Are
bodies.
you saying that Black Friday causes stress?
To some people it does.
Yes, it does. To
What do you
so
mean?
many people
In
it does.
what way?
Because let's think about, okay, I'm looking through the ads and I want to buy my
You're
kid
never
a
gonna
TV
get it.
or whatever,
You're
right?
not gonna get it.
That's
They
what I
want
tell
it.
myself. That's why I don't. That's why I don't.
I'm
first
going
thing
to
I
wait
do.
in line for this, for 4 hours, and then I'm going to run up there and I'm not going to get it. And now I'm mad
Yeah.
because it was
That's
the
it.
one thing I needed. And I keep saying to myself, I used to do Black Friday shopping with my mom and my sister, and I just stopped doing it because I never found that the deals were all that great
I
for
agree.
me.
I agree.
I mean, it wasn't the stuff that I really wanted or
Or
whatever.
you get up to
but
the front of the line and
yes,
there's 4
yes.
and there's 500 people that
Yep.
went in before you.
Exactly. And
Right.
we used to always have this thing where nobody's allowed to be cranky. If you're going to be cranky, you go back to the car.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, we
You're
could
not
be
coming
cranky.
with
Yeah,
us.
you're not allowed with us. And so I'll never forget the year we were at, I think it was Kohl's in Valpo. And my mom has this music box in her purse. And we're waiting in line. And these people are ferocious.
Crazy.
It was
They are
horrible. She whips that music box out, turns it on, and she's playing this Christmas tune in
love it.
line. And all of a
Good.
sudden, I mean, it did. We were laughing, and the lady in front of her, who seemed to be quite cranky, finally, kind of
Loosened up.
loosened up a
Yeah.
little bit. And it's just little things
The
like
real
that. Like,
meaning.
what can I do?
Yes.
Yeah, to stop with the whole
That's it.
fighting with everybody over Christmas gifts.
It's the
That's
negative
it.
Nelly
Or-
Debbie Downer syndrome.
Yes.
Get rid of it.
Yes.
Well, how many times we talked about good and bad attitudes being contagious, but who wants that when they're Christmas shopping? That's
Right.
always our rule. I'd go as well with my mom and my sister. We've gone for years and years, and we love it. But we don't ever go for an item we've seen an ad. We go because we enjoy the excitement of it.
It's an
and because
experience.
it's our day off. I
a
joke that
memory.
that's the only day of the year I have totally off.
There you go.
We go.
Katie, let's recap on this. How much of the day do you get off? Let's talk about this.
I leave before anyone's up, and I'm typically home when everyone's in bed.
That
There
is
you
the way
go.
to do it.
Nice.
But we
Mom of
love
the year.
it. And it's like it's the one day of the year
Agree.
Yeah.
that we do that. And it's the one day that I say, oh my goodness, we're actually going to go out to lunch, just my mom and my sister and I. We don't do that.
yeah.
Agree.
Or
Lot of
dinner,
people.
breakfast, lunch, and dinner because we're gone
Right?
so long.
Yeah.
you know?
Right.
But we love it. And we don't go for those items. We have tried that before where we
It's
see
not
something,
worth it.
And then you get bummed out and you're aggravated and nobody wants to feel like that
No.
when we're Christmas shopping.
Yes.
It's the
Yeah.
Christmas spirit. We just want to be out and it's just fun and we enjoy each other's company and enjoy what we're doing. And I think it's a shame for those people that allow that stress to get to them for the Christmas shopping. That
I think that's the best
Go a
piece of
different
advice
day.
today is
Yes.
to keep that
Yes.
positive
Go a
flow.
different day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
And, it's really more about that. It's the same thing with the holidays when you get really stressed out or you start striving for that perfection of anything.
Right.
Perfect dinner, party, the perfect anything.
Just let it go.
That's
Yeah,
it.
just
That's
let it
one
go.
small thing that you
Yep.
can just say, it can't control every move I make. And that right there will release some of the stress that's gripping your heart because
Right.
you're,
Yes.
really just frantic. I find myself doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I've done that too. And then I tell myself, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay if it's not all perfect before
Right.
everybody gets here.
Well, I think taking a step back and saying, what's the reason for this season?
That's
it. Yes.
Like why are we really doing
That's
this?
it.
Why are we getting together? And then letting all of that other stuff just kind of go. And
Well, here's
nobody's
another
gonna
side
remember.
spin. If you want to get rid of some stress, I'm just going to throw this out there. we have spoken about this many times on the air about letting others prepare your meals, like getting those meals from one of those high-end catering places or a place in your neighborhood grocery store within your affordable budget to have them help you. That may help. But also, you know, some families have switched it up and go out to dinners before the actual holiday or around the holiday to kind of make it easier because that fits them. Try something different, try something new. And I get it if you're depressed and there are things in your life that remind you of, you know, why you're not happy during the holidays, but try to take a step or two in the right direction and bond with folks and, you know, make that kind of a part of your routine. And I get it too, where a lot of people live in one part of the country and they're truly by themselves. They can't afford to fly out or drive out or work related stuff. I get all that, but again, new traditions.
Absolutely.
You know,
help
make a difference.
Yeah, make a difference.
Go serve soup or be around people. Spin it around.
Yeah, find a community meal even that you could go to. I mean, they're open for anyone, you know, and I think that that's what's really important. If you don't have anybody that lives by you, any family, and you can't afford to go see them, don't be lonely during the holidays.
That's the worst thing you can do.
Yes, and
reach out to someone. I think it's just it's important, even if you don't make it a tradition.
Right.
But you say, okay, this year is unique. I'm not going to be able to do it. This is a unique circumstance for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So instead, I will find a community dinner. I think that's brilliant. And I'm just always so happy to hear stories of churches or groups that offer that because it's so important.
Sure, absolutely. Well, and I think of if you're the person that has all the family by you and you know of a colleague or a friend or even a friend of a friend that might be sort of a stranger, reach out to them and say, come join us. You know, I actually did that. It was last year. One of my colleagues wasn't sure if he was going to get to go home for Thanksgiving or not. And I said, you're more than welcome to join our family.
And that's what you do.
That's what we do too.
He got to go home, but you know, the invitation was
throw
there.
This out there too. Even if you offer it, they may not accept.
Correct.
But that may spin someone's mojo or just depression or whatever it may
offer and offer and offer. Keep doing it a few times so they know that you mean it. It wasn't just offer.
It wasn't just like
we come from. I have a big extended family, so I think there are always. I hate to say strangers. They're not strangers, but they're people that maybe we didn't know when they walked in the door.
And
you're like,
cheer set up
at
the Anthony household.
There you go.
I mean, that's it. We just, you know, it's nice. So I think it's. But it is important to discuss. I'm glad you joined us today.
Thank
I really
you so much.
appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
And
I won't clap because we have a baby.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah.
What
Even the symptoms and stuff. I think that's vital for people to realize. And
absolutely.
You know, it could be just something as simple as maybe they don't have face drooping, but they are noticing it's more difficult to comprehend. You could have a small stroke and not even know it.
20 seconds.
So,
final thought, real quick.
Just take care of yourself during the holidays. Don't stress less, you know, and do something for yourself this year.
I'm Rick Federici.
I'm Mary Ann.
And she is
Katie
Sarver.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks,
guys.
Thank you.
AM 1420.